What up, nerds, and welcome back to the Edge of the Sky. Sorry I didn't have any chapters of this out last week. I ended up not feeling well, and I was trying to get into a workout routine, and I just lost track of time, and I didn't get this done because I was just too tired. But we are back again, and we're going to head into Chapter 3, Truth. Before we start, I just want to tell you that when I was recording this the first time, for some reason the video portion of this did not record, but what did record was just the audio, so that kind of sucked. So I had to go back because, like an idiot, I had saved over my previous file with the next chapter when I started it. And of course, I needed to go back to the third chapter, so I went back under the chapter selection, so you will see that my name is not Haiyuna on there, it's Evren, which is the default name. You will hear me read out my own name, Haiyuna, in place of Evren, so just be aware of that. There are also a couple of different choices in there that I didn't have in my original playthrough of that, so be mindful when I don't even acknowledge another choice. I think there's just only like 2 places where that happens, but I at least got the gist of what I played recorded, so that's good enough. So let's go ahead and jump on into this. It's been 2 days since I was handed the mission with 6. I haven't seen 6 at all since that day, although I've passed by some of the other members here and there. I've been focusing on reading more about phase and training in the sim room, trying not to spend too much time thinking. But a few minutes ago, I got a message request from the most unlikely person through my RO, asking me to come up to the rooftop. I wonder what 4 wants. I haven't seen him since that day. Thinking back to that day in the command center still makes my stomach twist in knots, but seeing 4 again. It'll be really nice to see him in a situation outside of life and death one. No kidding. Reaching the rooftop, I immediately look for 4. I completely stop when I notice someone is with him. In the distance, I see one of the phase staff I saw in the elevator a few days ago with 4. I'm trying to decide if I should walk over to them or not when I see Su-yun shove a bag at 4. He reaches out to take it, but Su-yun lets go before his hands are completely on it and it hits the floor. They both stare at it for a moment, with Su-yun making no motions to pick it up. 4 reaches down to grab the bag without a word. What the hell? That was rude. Well, she was one of the rude ones that we met in the elevator. I thought we already, established that she was a rude-ass bitch. Guess I should have expected that from her, though. Exactly. Najid wasn't available to do your park run for you. You should really be thanking me for even doing this. Good lord, calm down, Su-yun. I don't like that creepy woman any more than you. Yeah, thanks. 4's voice is dripping with sarcasm, but the woman doesn't seem to catch it at all. Is that everything? Her voice shakes as she rubs her arm. I'm sure you understand I have no desire to be around some mentally unstable killer. Whoa, back the fuck up, honey. Back it up. Mentally unstable? Go. I'm not keeping you. Su-yun practically runs from 4, headed in my direction. I don't know if I was supposed to hear all of that, but there's no time for me to hide anywhere. Su-yun's eyes and mine meet, and she halts for a moment as she passes me. Are you meeting with that psycho? Oh, this hoe is gearing up to be frickin' slapped. Like, I am about to slap a hoe. If you mean 4, then yeah. Su-yun looks at me out of the corner of her eye. You seem normal enough. You're new, right? Oh lord, what are we getting into? You haven't been here long enough to have Dr. Park implant her machines in you? Man, we are already doubters about phase, and she's not making it any better for us. Though, if you're in Phantom Alpha, I imagine you must have some anyway. Hey! Back it up. What? Machines? Do you have a problem with Augs? I still don't know if I'm even, pronouncing that right. It's certainly not uncommon, but I didn't expect anyone in phase would. I have a problem with anyone who sacrifices their humanity for a little power. Still, You're going to meet up alone with that psycho. I think you should know about him. Oh no. Here we go. What is she going to spew at us now? Never know when he might go off and snap. What, like you do? Snap? What are you even talking about? Just because you're their teammate doesn't mean you can trust them. Well, just because you're a weirdo, I shouldn't trust you. He probably killed the other participants in Project Angmar himself. Uh-oh. Killed? What's Project Angmar? I've done my good deed by warning you. You should ask him yourself. He can probably hear us anyway with his freakish hearing. You haven't done any good deeds. You're just making everything worse. Like, you need to go away. Jump off the roof or something. Just don't say you weren't warned. I don't want to see this bitch anymore. Like, I'm left alone on the rooftop with 4, feeling well, hold on, I need to go back. Suyun hurries off down the steps. I didn't really need to go back for that, but I felt like I needed to. I'm left alone on the rooftop with 4, feeling extremely confused and nervous. I glance at 4, but his back is turned away from me. Come on, 7. This is your teammate. You've been through a lot with him already. You can trust him. I take a deep breath, steel myself, and walk up to him. When I do, he doesn't turn to me. Instead, he looks blankly out over the railing, arms crossed. Looking closer at his face, I feel like I've seen something else too. Just tired. A kind of exhaustion that reaches down into the soul. He had to have heard all that. I'm thinking about how to even remotely breach the topic when 4 sighs. Enzo Kong, subject 004. Last living participant in Project Angmar. Park's one big failure. Oh no, we're getting deep. Oh, what? Confusion hits me like a ton of bricks at this sudden statement. Enzo Kong. Is that his name? The fact that he just told me like that? As if it was no big deal. 4's eyes flicker over to me. That's what she was talking about. What is Project Angmar? I mean, if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, though. I'm sorry that she said all of that. Project Angmar was meant to create perfectly enhanced race. Phases, master assassins, only better. 4 sighs quietly, his eyes turning back over to the Olympia's horizon. The failure rate for bodies accepting the Angmar Augs was high. Higher than any of the scientists predicted. They fucked up in 70 and 73 other wraiths died? Holy moly, that is horrible. This is messed up. 4 scowls. They couldn't figure out why I didn't die. Oh. Park looked at my malfunctions and decided that survivor or not, I'm a fucking failure? What? He survives and they call him a failure? What kind of place is this? Like, bro, this is ridiculous. I didn't work like she wanted me to. What the hell was she expecting? I was broken, so no way she was going to call me a success. Huh. She looked at her damn numbers and called me a failure. Broken or not, failure or not, I'm still expected to do my job. Me being in the Alpha team is proof of what they were aiming to create. I nod slowly. If a failure can be an Alpha, then I can't really imagine what a success would be like. No kidding, honey. No kidding. I don't want to see what a success is. 4's eyes glow red as he turns to look at me. I can see your vitals. And walls are not. Everyone else in the building and in the city around us. Useful for my job, but it comes with some side effects. I feel like I'm never alone. Like people are always surrounding me, closing in on me. Ooh, that's not a good feeling. Sometimes I feel like I can't breathe. 4 runs his fingers through his hair. The Augs don't work perfectly. There's a reason they killed so many others. I get migraines. Sometimes they activate on their own. Ooh. Yeah, that's bad side effects. I see too much. I hear too much, and sometimes I can't turn it off. Even if I go hide somewhere, I'm still surrounded. The only real peace I get is when I'm asleep. That's awful. Yeah, that's really awful. Beyond that, I mean, I don't have words. And none of it's your fault. That woman got it all wrong. What she said was horrible, and Dr. Park, I just don't know what to think. But thank you for trusting me with this. I had no idea he's carrying so much pain. It's no secret around here, and I just wanted you to hear it from me. I look up at 4, trying not to tear myself. Wish I could do something for him. Can I give you a hug? It's not much, but it's all I can do. We asked for permission this time. You're gonna get used to our hugs. 4 looks off to the side for a moment, shifting his body towards me as he turns back. He looks a little stiff, but he drops his arms to his sides. Okay. Oh, yay! He's accepting our hugs. Heck yes. Okay. His voice is quiet, and yet I hear him perfectly fine. I'm shocked that he's actually letting me, but I throw my arms around him without hesitation. I give him my best hug, squeezing him tight. 4 awkwardly pats me on the back, but it's endearing somehow. He's trying, even if he isn't real good at it. Oh, that's too adorable. That's when I realize something is poking me in the side. I pull back and look down in confusion at 4's jacket. Oh, here. 4 pulls out a can of caramel latte. I reach out to grab the drink and realize that it's really warm. Did you just get this before you came up here? I got it on the way here. Really? I don't think I've seen a vending machine anywhere all that close, but maybe I missed one. Anyway, he clears his throat. I called you up here because I want to talk to you about the mission with 6. The mission? What about it? Is it finally time to start? 4 nods. And I'm going with you guys. This mission is real discreet. Yeah, no kidding. I don't even understand exactly what we're doing. We're going to catch some rats. Ooh, rat chasers. In just 45 minutes time, 4 and I arrive at the slums. I get out of the parked car. The slums, where we landed last time. Memories of that night tried to rush in, but I cut them off. This isn't that. We've got control of FaZe now. It'll be okay. I have to do my job. Ooh, he's looking badass. Look at this guy. 4 looks around, his eyes glowing. He wordlessly begins to move in one direction, and I follow. 4 finally stops by a dark wall. 6. I look around in confusion, trying to spot 6. Then a figure emerges out of the darkness. I realize 6 has been leaning against the wall the entire time. He greets us, eyes smiling. Hey, somehow his eyes seem off though. I wonder if he's gotten any rest lately. 4 did mention they'd been keeping him busy. Silently, with naught but a hand motion, he leads us down an alley. We head off into a different street and into a darkened building off to the side somewhere. Taking down his mask, 4 looks around, looking up at the building across from us. That'll be where I'm going. I'll keep watch for you guys and see if my target shows up. See you after the mission is done. Oh, good luck. Stay safe. 4 smiles and gives me a little nod. Did he just smile at me? Uh-oh. Score 1 for us. Acting as nothing happened, he simply walks off, heading somewhere behind the other building. I watch 4's back, feeling happy about what just happened. But I can't help but feel nervous about letting him go somewhere alone after what happened last time. No shit, he gets shot. Perhaps, feeling my eyes on him, 4 turns back to look at me for just a second, but disappears into the building. I know I wanted to go for 0. But 4 is pulling at me a little bit. I turn back to 6. What now? We're gonna go look for someone. We've narrowed down the location to somewhere in this complex. I'll know when we found the right room, then we wait. It's someone I've been looking for a while now, but wasn't able to catch on my own. I see. Right, let's go, as quietly as you can. I'm no master of self, but I'll do my best. We walk along the walkways, following his footsteps and walking as quietly as possible. We look in different rooms, with me keeping guard. Though the doors are locked, Six doesn't seem to have any trouble getting past them and getting us where we need to go. After a few minutes, the silence is starting to wear on me. It reminds me of when we were at Kairos. When Six stops at a door that takes a little longer to get through, I sigh. Six chuckles quietly. We're past the worst of it, I think, so you can talk. Oh, yay, they're finally gonna let me talk. Might help your nerves. Oh, I can? Six gives a little nod. This is the room I was looking for. 4 will let us know if the target is approaching, so don't worry. Fidgeting, I try to think of what to talk about. What do you think of 8? How long have you been at phase? Have you been very busy? Do we want to learn how long he's been at phase, or should we ask if he's been busy because he was tired in the beginning? Let's do this one. I decided to go for a more neutral kind of question. How long have you been in phase? Six looks thoughtful, even as he continues to work. A few years now. I signed up when I was 17. Oh, so you actually signed up to join phase? Yep. It's not a very interesting story, really. I signed up, did the test, and got in. Six pauses his work for a moment, closing his eyes to take a deep breath before going back to it. Are you feeling alright? You must be exhausted. My target should be here really soon, so we need to get into position. That doesn't really answer my question, but I decided not to push it for now. I decided to keep an eye on him, though, just in case. Exhaustion is no joke. Six finally gets the door and quickly ushers me inside with a quick wave. It's dark and I find myself cursing that it didn't get those upgraded night vision logs. Yeah, duh, that would have been helpful. Your target has entered the area, Six. Six looks at me and wordlessly directs me to the corner further down, while he moves to get behind the door. Strangely, Six takes off his hood and mask. Six, don't you... Identity won't be a problem with this guy. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm too afraid to ask. The minutes of waiting seem to drag on for an eternity. Is this guy gonna show it at all? But I don't make a move, too afraid to make a sound and ruin the mission. Then the door opens. When the target walks in, I almost don't see Six move with how fast he is. It's as if I blink and he's already got this guy pinned by the neck to the wall on the other end of the room. Oddly enough, this man doesn't resist, only keeping one hand on Six's wrist. Close the door. Six doesn't use my codename, but I can hear in his low voice that he means for me to do it. I slip out of the shadows myself and obey. You're one of the Temperance's birdies, aren't you? Don't feel like talking, huh? That's okay. I already know anyway. Six squeezes his guy's throat just a little more, which seems to get his attention a little more. As if you can really ignore something holding you by that throat. Tell me, how is Kairos spreading their propaganda? Who's helping them? Dunno. How would someone like me know? The guy finally looks up to me, Six's eyes with a slick grin. Might want to catch Temperance if you really want to know. Six narrows his eyes at the guy. I would love to do that, if you just pointed me in the right direction. Birdie actually laughs at that. Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. Let me tell you right where you can find her. What? Seriously? She's right in the... Go fuck yourself. I'm not telling you shit even if I knew. Right. I don't know what I was expecting. I hear Six growl, and I seriously question myself if I'm not just hearing things now. But no, I'm sure I heard it. Fine. I'll just let someone else get it out of you. Six's glove begins to glow as my eyes go wide. The man inhales sharply and starts to convulse. What is he doing to him? After a few seconds, the man goes limp. He's not dead, right? I didn't know such a cheerful guy could be so scary. I almost feel sorry for the guy. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of that. No shit. 6 lets him fall to the ground and steps back. 4, I got the target, but he either doesn't have the info or is unwilling to share it. We're going to need to call for a pickup. You sending him to interrogation, honey. Yeah, I'm sure the lead oracle will enjoy the challenge of prying it out of him. If he doesn't just send him straight to the panacea first. I don't even know if I said that right either. Elite Oracle interrogations. I'm not sure I knew FaZe did those. Honey, you really need to learn what things like this do. All groups like this have interrogations. I wonder if 3 will be a part of that. But I guess it makes sense. The guy wouldn't give up the info on how Kairos is spreading these lies. I guess that means he's more afraid of Kairos than FaZe. Seeing how scary 6 was just then, I began to wonder just how bad Kairos is. 6 continues to talk, but this time it seems to be back to FaZe HQ. Feeling somewhat uncomfortable in the stuffy room, I decide to step outside to meet up with 4. I look for 4, chatting into my comm. 4, should we rendezvous, or are you still looking for your target? My question is met with silence. 4. I glance up and notice that a man in a hood is about to pass me. It seems strange considering this alley seems to be not well traveled. 7, my target may be heading right past you. Act natural, I'm coming. I don't say anything as I don't want to draw attention to myself. The man suddenly looks up just then. Our eyes meet briefly. I don't know what it is he sees in mine, but he suddenly takes off. Huh? For a split second, I wonder what I did wrong, but the impulse takes over. I can't lose 4's target. I start dashing down after him. 7, what are you doing? 4's voice comes in my ear, but I'm too focused to answer immediately. The guy is fast, but I'm much faster. I overtake him quickly. Pursuing the target. Falling back. Can't do that. I screwed up 4's mission. There's no way I can just sit by. I reach out and grab the man's shirt, but the moment I do, he latches onto my hand. He tries to pull me toward him, but I snap my arm away towards me and get free. When I do this, he stumbles and I shoot my arm out and grab his shirt again. But the man spins around, pulling something large out of nowhere at the same time. Is that a weapon? I only get a fraction of a second to comprehend that fact. Though I move to avoid it, I'm unable to completely clear the weapon's range. I barely register the feeling of metal across the flesh of my arm so much as I feel a sudden burn. A knife? No. A vibrational one? It doesn't matter, because either way, I know I can't let him hit me again. Ignoring my wound and the weapon, I grab the man's arm and yank it behind his back in an attempt to disarm him. But moving his head backward, he rams his head into mine. Not expecting such a vicious move, I stumble backwards, losing my focus. Pain sears through my face, my vision blurs, and I realize that I'm completely open. 7, respond. 4's voice is streaked with frustration. But I'm in no state to reply. I struggle to get over the shock of the pain just in time to see the man thrusting the knife at me again. Respond, damn it! No, not frustration. Maybe it's desperation that I'm hearing? Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Sorry, 4. I want to, but still in pain and vision unfocused, I managed to grab the man's arm. But he's strong, much stronger than I expected. And I'm still weak from the shock of the blow he dealt me. He thrusts the knife at me, the force of his strength pushing my arm back as if it was nothing. A wild fear and bloodlust in his eyes, the last thing I see. 7! The knife sinks into me, somewhere in my stomach. This time, I feel a sharp, gut-wrenching pain immediately. Ugh. That is totally not how forceful that should have been. I resist the urge to fall to my knees, but the man starts to pull the knife out of my stomach. My hands go to his, feeling more terrified of him pulling the knife out than I was of being stabbed in the first place. My watering eyes met his wide ones, pleading. I'm suddenly not sure what to do anymore. Time seems to move in slow motion despite my AUGs no longer being activated. The man is going to pull it out, and I'm too weak right now to do anything about it. I'm scared. I'm really scared. Then it occurs to me. I'm not alone. I can call for help. I can... Shit! 7! I suddenly feel a firm gloved hand on mine supporting me. My head feels hazy and it takes me a second to realize what's going on. I look down at the ground for a second to see that I'm not imagining things. As I look back up, I see 4 moving to attack the guy even while keeping his eyes on me. There's a horrible crack sound when 4's elbow connects with the guy's face. Panic rises as I feel the blade tug, but 4's hold on it and on my hand keeps it from being pulled out. Oh man. The man lets go of the knife and stumbles backwards. 4 lets go of my hand and I hold onto the handle now, the white hot pain pulsing through my abdomen. I fall to my knees, gasping for breath. True panic seizes my entire body. I feel like I can't get enough air. Blood spills out from my stomach over my gloves. I want to stop it, but all I can do is watch it with wide eyes. Am I going to die? Oh no. I'm scared. I watch as 4 turns and punches the man square in the jaw. He follows up with a quick uppercut that sends him sailing through the air. The guy falls back with a thud, but 4 doesn't let up. He jumps on the guy, kneeling on his chest as he throws punch after punch after punch. What is happening? The guy tries to defend himself, throwing his hand up in an attempt to shield himself from 4's blows. But it's useless. 4 is relentless, unstoppable. Each move he makes seems sharp and deliberate. Seeing 4 lose control, the overwhelming pain, I feel like I'm losing touch with reality. A sort of numbness settles over me, pulling my consciousness away from the situation that makes no sense. There's a flash of metal as 4 pulls something out from the back of his belt and thrusts it down towards the man. I can no longer process what's happening as I fall over, curled up in pain. Honey, he's killing him, that's what's happening. Let me just let you know. 7, 4. I can hear 6's voice in the distance, and an air car landing somewhere nearby too, but I can't turn to see any of it. 7! I feel something touch my shoulder, and suddenly 4's eyes are looking into mine. Tears of pain stream from my eyes, and my vision fades. Ooh. Beeping. Beeping. Pain. I struggle to open my eyes in the blinding white light. I feel nothing. Not even my own body. Panic grips me and I automatically try to move. I still don't even feel as if I have a body. The beeping dramatically speeds up, however. Dr. Kamu, did you or did you not complete your medical training? The patient is waking up. Of course I finished my training at the top of my class, just like I did with the rest of my degrees. It'll be alright, 7. Just sleep a little longer. I can't even say a word as my eyelids begin to feel impossibly heavy. My eyes become unfocused and I fall to the side. 4? What's he? I can't fight the overwhelming heaviness any longer. I have no choice but to let the darkness take me. I struggle to open my eyes yet again, this time feeling much clearer. It feels like no time at all has passed, perhaps only a few seconds. But the beeping is calmer, and there's no strained voices this time. This place again. This is a med lab, isn't it? Am I in a bed or something? This time, I can sense my body, although it feels sluggish. I look down, surprised to see myself wearing what seems to be a hospital gown. I try and sit up, only to see 3 people standing by my bed. An unlikely trio of Dr. Park, Sergeant Roske, and Forrest standing around my bed. At seeing 4's face, a flurry of memories rushed back to me. 7. Totally late. I got stabbed, but 4 saved me and that guy. What happened to him? And why is 4 here now? I look at 4 questioningly and open my mouth to speak, but another scathing voice cuts through. I see you're finally awake. My eyes turn to Sergeant Roske and it clicks why he's here. I must have screwed up the mission. The only one thing I was trying not to do was trying so hard not to do. I screwed it up for all of us. Your mission was a complete failure. I didn't think to expect much of you until you've proven yourself more. Before, you should have known by now not to lose control like that. Still, maybe you should have gone through your trainee period after all, Operative 7. I don't know what the hell FaZe was thinking. Roske exhales deeply. Maybe then you wouldn't make such a beginner mistake like going after a target by yourself. You didn't even listen to higher-ranked comrades. Why? What are you thinking? Did you even stop to think? Do you know how much I'm going to get racked over the coals now? Anything that happens to me will be 100 times worse for you. I'll have both of your punishments later. His tirade over, Rasuke turns on his heel and strides out of the room. I look down, utterly speechless, yet hurt by every stinging word. Because he's right. I know he's right. Every one of his words struck against every doubt I'd had since the beginning, and they cut so deep I can't even summon one argument. You really messed up, Haiyuna. This time, for everyone. To make matters worse, I feel heart tears behind my eyes waiting to betray me. Shit, not in front of 4 of all people. I don't deserve to cry when I messed everything up for him. Sergeant Rasuke is correct on all accounts. Huh? My head snaps up and I meet Dr. Park's cold eyes. I expected more of you from your statistics. It's rare that anyone skips the trainee period. It's even rarer that anyone makes it into Alpha Alpha. But I vouched for you. My test results did. Your emotional control and rational judgment earned high marks. So what the hell was that out there? I'm so stunned I can barely string together a sentence. But Dr. Park doesn't even let me try. From my perspective, you have one job. Perform it as efficiently as possible. But this is completely unacceptable. Do you even know how badly this will affect on me and the entire science department? If something was broken in your body or in your head, that's when you come to me. You don't go out there and completely disregard your orders. 4 sharp eyes are focused entirely on Dr. Park. He stands tall and tense, and the very air around him feels heavy. 7 isn't one of your experiments. Isn't it enough that you got to play with me and 0? Dr. Park scoffs. What use does anyone have for broken machines? Dr. Park looks at me with clear disgust, or incompetent ones for that matter. The tension in the room feels suffocating as 4 and Dr. Park bore their eyes into each other. Oh boy. Hello? A calming voice floats through the air in the room. I look up to see Dr. Static of all people headed towards us. Good evening, 7, 4. Dr. Park. Dr. Static inclines her head slightly, but I notice her smile wavers when she glances at Dr. Park. Dr. Park, I'm sure you noticed, but I sent a message that 7 was to be sent down to my office as soon as she was well enough. According to the data from 7's biometrics, 7 woke up several minutes ago and she's not even dressed. But it seems she is experiencing some stress. Is there a problem here, or can I take my patient? Dr. Park snorts and drops her tablet on my bed, turning away from both me and 4. I have no use for Operative 7 at present. Oh, this bitch. I don't like her anymore. Do what you will. Alright then, 7. Could you get dressed? I'll wait here. Yeah, but where are my clothes? Unexpectedly, 4 drops a bag on the bed. There, your mission ones are damaged, so these were brought from your room. Oh, thanks. For some reason, I feel a little shy. Too shy to ask where he got them from or even meet 4's eyes right now. I slide off the bed and grab the bag. Dr. Sedit nods and smiles at me encouragingly. I'll wait here for you. Go on. Dr. Park, who had walked away to a computer, glances over at 4. She opens her mouth as if she's going to say something, but at that moment 4 turns and starts to walk out of the room. I feel like I want to say something as I watch his retreating back, but no words come to mind. At this point, I don't even know how to feel, or what to feel. Happy that I'm alive, frustrated that I messed up, confusion at everything. But I am glad Dr. Static is here. Still in a daze, I walk off to the bathroom to get dressed. After Dr. Static's session exhausted, I went straight to bed and dropped off to sleep without a thought, only to wake up in the middle of the night, plagued with thoughts about the crazy events of the day. Restless and unable to sleep, I decided to come up the garden to see the stars. The stars calm some of my internal turmoil, but I feel lost. And most of all, I feel lonely. Unconsciously, my mind floats to him. 6. He had completed his mission perfectly, at least. But seeing him interrogate that guy, he's so mysterious and kind of intimidating, too. I can't shake the feeling that he's hiding a lot behind that smile, but still. Is it wrong to want to see that bright smile and feel that comforting presence right now? But it's past midnight, and I'm sure he's asleep by now. The feeling of wanting to talk to him doesn't go away, though. Dr. Static's session helped, but there's still too much I just don't know how to feel about. The harsh reaction, Rasuke and Dr. Park's coldness, making a mistake, being stabbed, the fact that 4 killed a man because of me. I can feel anxiety bubbling up again. I quickly think back to what Dr. Static told me to calm myself. Are you feeling alright? Are you in any pain? I unconsciously touched my stomach where it only a little tender. It's hard to believe I was stabbed today. Phases medical facilities are incredible. Honestly, I can't tell. I feel exhausted and a bit drowsy. The drugs probably haven't worn off yet. Be sure to let someone know if you feel any pain or have any issues, okay? Okay, thanks. You had a rough time of it on your mission. How do you feel? A rough time of it? Huh. I screwed up, got stabbed, and the man is dead, right? Dr. Sedek stares evenly back at me and gives a slight nod. I look down, feeling stunned. 4 killed him. He was his target and I tried to help, but he killed him. Because of me. Are you alright? No. Not really. It's okay to not be alright. These are heavy things that happened. Dr. Sedek goes down briefly, mumbling to herself about checking in on 4 soon. It didn't just happen, though. I caused it, or his mission failed because of me. Mission failures are normal, and operatives don't succeed on them all the time. You shouldn't blame yourself, and no one else should. Especially not Dr. Park. You are more than what you can do. Being an operative, I'm starting to wonder if I really belong here. You know what? I'm really liking Dr. Sadek. I'm hoping they're not going to break my heart and she's going to become one of them floozies that I just can't stand. I really hope she stays the good one because I'm liking what she's telling me. She seems to be the only sane one in this place. What Dr. Park said comes back to the forefront of my mind. From my perspective, you have one job. Perform as efficiently as possible. But I'm not efficient at all. I let emotions get the better of me. I did my best, and it wasn't good enough. Just what am I doing all of this for? Am I not supposed to ask these questions? I sigh and look up at the sky beyond the dome. Enjoying the view, Haiyuna? A sudden female voice in my ear nearly gives me a heart attack, but I try to remain calm. Who is this? You can call me a messenger raven of Kairos, or something like that. The woman speaks with an accent, perhaps British or Scottish, I can't quite tell. Kairos? You must be quite surprised to find out your brother is in Kairos. So he really is. Yes, he is now Kairos' very own devil. Ooh. My stomach clenches and I swallow hard. I guess there was still some hope I'd held out that it wasn't true, but would you like to see him for a chat? Huh? Would I like to? My heart, uncaring of allegiances, leaps at the opportunity to really see Nish again. And in my mind, I know I do want to ask him about this. I need to hear about this, why he's doing this, from his own mouth. But what if it's a trap? But the meeting would be somewhere neutral and full of civilians, and even if it was a trap, what other choices do you have? Oh, catching us off guard. The woman chuckles. Not to worry, your brother would like you alive and unharmed in any way. But you'd be better not inform FaZe because the meeting would be off in an instant. If I decide to meet Nish, where should I go? Just wait for a call in a half an hour and be ready to leave for the city immediately. The call ends before I can say another word. My mind races trying to process what just happened. What should I do? You're thinking of meeting up with your brother? This time a male's voice cuts off my train of thought. I turn to see Six standing there. Six? Did you hear my conversation just then? Oh no, this probably sounds really bad. I'm not a spy or anything like that. Six merely looks at me with an amused smirk, and I find words trembling out in a rush. I know things probably look real bad for me right now. I messed up the mission, and Kairos is calling me, but I swear I didn't ask for them to. I grabbed my head with both hands and squeezed my eyes shut tight. It just came out of nowhere asking if I wanted to meet Nish. And of course, I want to see my brother. It's been so many years. Especially now, of all times, when I'm so unsure, I feel like I just don't know what to do, or... I feel hands on mine, and I slowly open my eyes to see Six standing right in front of me. What I'm doing anymore. As his pale green eyes meet mine, I trail off in surprise. He gently pulls my hands away from my head. For a few moments, we merely stare at each other, and I feel myself calming down. But then 6 drops my hands after giving me a little pat on the shoulder, steps back. 6, are you alright now? It looked like you were freaking out. No, You're right. I was freaking out. I've never felt so lost as I do right now. I almost always know what to do, what direction to go in. But it's like everything has gone wrong since I came to Olympia, and I don't know if I'm making the right choices at all. I'm suddenly second-guessing everything I do, and I'm glad you're here, 6. About what happened during the mission. I was worried about you two. I wish I could have been closer to you in 4 when it happened. Then maybe I would have been able to help. 6 wasn't your fault at all. It was mine for running off like that. And honestly, just having someone who cares and listens and is everything at times like these. I just don't know what to do. Was it a wrong decision to join FaZe? Maybe I'm just holding you guys back. I don't think I'm good enough to do this. 6 only responds with a quiet hum. I sigh and turn to the stars instead. But they're as silent as he is. I don't think you're a spy, if that helps. That's good to hear. I don't think you'd last very long as a spy. Lying about who you are doesn't seem like your thing. I glance at 6 in surprise. 6. And about what you're feeling. It sounds pretty normal to me. No one really likes messing up, right? But none of us are perfect, and all of us make mistakes. It's part of life and a part of being human after all. FaZe expects a lot out of everyone. So it makes even the smallest things feel like terrible mistakes. 6 pauses. He seems to be considering his words carefully. What we do here, and that we do it without question, would be unimaginable to people. Every little action carries weight. That means we carry the burdens of each and everything. All these things add up, and if the things become mistakes, you start to feel like you can't do anything right. And the doubts creep in. And soon after that, you start beating yourself up for every little thing. I nod in agreement. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel right now. It's hard living like this, always scared of making your next mistake. There's no magic wand to make it all go away. What you said about doubt. One mistake doesn't make you unsuitable for Valdium Alpha, not in my eyes. Besides, you already got stabbed for it. Well, good point. I already reaped the consequences of my mistakes. That should be enough to pay your debt. You're only human, 7. You should be allowed to make mistakes. You should be allowed to not know what to do sometimes. And you're already one of us, so no matter what anyone says, we got your back, 7. They're all gonna make me cry. I smile a little. You'd think I know this, but somehow it's nice to hear it. The more you strive for perfection, the further away from human you get, and the more you feel like you can't make mistakes. The responsibility crushes you, suffocates you, until you think you can't breathe anymore. So at times like this, you just need to take a deep breath and think about what makes you happy. Think about what you're doing this for. What if I'm not sure? That's okay. But I'm sure you had some reason to join, and some reason you keep going when the darkness closes in. If you don't have it yet, I'm sure you'll find it. I look down, mulling over 6's words. Thank you. You know, you're very wise. Oh, am I? Really? I'll try to find that reason then. My mind flashes to Nish and that call. I'm not sure what I should do about Nish, though. You should go. Huh? It's obvious that you want to. You missed your brother, right? You've been given a chance to see him on neutral grounds. Not often that you get that. Don't waste it. You never know, your next opportunity might only be during a fight. You're right. What I want. You're right. I want to see Nish. I want to talk to him and find out why he joined Kairos. Do it then. But I'm not going to stop you, and I'm very good at keeping secrets. I'm stunned at 6's kindness, and I wonder if I can really trust what he says. What if he's just messing around? Even if I do, it could still be a trap. Don't worry, I'll tag along. Huh? You would do that? It could be dangerous. I can't ask you to do that. I flirt with danger every day, so this is nothing new. It might not be a trap, but I'm not letting you go alone. Once again shocked into silence, I can't say anything for a while. I don't know if I can fully trust him, but he's my teammate, so I'll try. Not like I have many options anyway. Regardless of anything else, I feel grateful that Six would take out his time to help me. You're an unpredictable guy, you know that? Six laughs. So I've been told. Well, when are we going? You're the spontaneous sort, so I'm sure you don't mind much. With no room left for argument, I find myself sighing with a smile. We're going tonight. About half an hour ago, I got another call with the location of the meeting. It was a tight timeline, which was probably the point, but somehow we made it to the lounge. I feel my stomach twisting with nerves, the thought of finally seeing my brother after years. Not to mention the fact that we're on opposing sides. To say that I feel tense might be the understatement of the century. I feel like a lovely mix of tension, nerves, anticipation, and uncertainty. As we walk into the club, I look around while trying to appear as casual as possible. Nish and I did get to talk a bit, but that didn't exactly end well back then. I'm almost surprised that we don't attract any attention, but the patrons here all seem to care very little for someone they didn't know. So I can only imagine how it's going to go this time. Some stares do linger, but only for the barest of moments before they all return to their own affairs. My eyes land on a pair sitting at one of the far end tables. I feel my heart drop to my stomach when I see who it is. Nish. Even though I was expecting it, actually seeing him for the first time in years still hits me like a punch to the gut. My eyes flicker over to the woman next to him. Her eyes snap right to me as if she senses someone looking at her. She says something to Nish, who then turns to look my way too. Makes me relieved to see that my brother still looks so much like himself. I don't know what I expected, but the feeling of familiarity I get at seeing him soothes me. It's as if I was afraid that after joining Kairos, he wouldn't be him at all. I glance at Six. It looks like your brother brought some interesting company with him. You know who the woman is? You could say that. We bump heads from time to time. She's a tricky one. So who is she? Temperance, or Tempe. I gulp and resist the urge to look back to Temperance. So, a Kairos leader is here with my brother, but why? Is it for his safety, in case I did bring the whole of phase down on him, or is it to keep an eye on him? Should I be worried that she's here? Maybe, maybe not. Her and Devil are reported to work together often, so it might be nothing. Might be isn't totally reassuring, you know. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye out for any tricks. I nod slowly. Alright, thanks Six. Let's go then. We slide into the opposite side of the table, with me now sitting face to face with my brother. Haiyuna, good to finally see you in person. Nish, I haven't seen you in so long. I glance at the woman next to my brother. She sits leaning back against her seat, her arms crossed in front of her as she watches us quietly. And Temperance, nice to meet you. Oh, already know who I am. Temperance's eyes glide over to Six immediately, her little smirk not leaving her face for even a moment. I see you already introduced me, Six. Of course, I couldn't let Seven go in clueless after all. The woman's voice sounds familiar, and it takes me only a second to put two and two together. You're the one who called me. Temperance chuckles and nods. Good ear. I'm almost tempted to call in Phase, but she already warned me against it. And honestly, I want to talk to my brother about all of this way more than I want Phase to swoop in. Besides, I'm not alone, and if Phase comes in, I might never see my brother again. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to my brother in person. Temperance looks at me curious and only nods in response. I turn my attention back to the reason why I'm here, my twin. It's time to get some answers. Finally being in front of him, I realize that I don't actually know where to start. It feels like I want to say everything and nothing all at the same time. I'm sure you're wondering how or why I ended up here where I am. Yes, I do. Nish strokes his chin in thought. It's real simple, to be honest. There was some shit with FaZe. You could say I got in trouble with them without meaning to, and Tempe here dragged me out. She gave me a choice, stay and fight or leave. I think it's obvious what choice I made. Yes, very obvious, duh. I glance at Temperance. He says she gave him a choice, but should she really? I look back to him with a frown. I want more details. This isn't a topic you can be vague on, Nish. What trouble with FaZe? What the hell did you get up to after you left? You can't just expect me to believe you after all that happened. Not if you don't give me anything. I don't say it. I don't want to provoke him. But how am I supposed to know he's not been brainwashed with some bullshit by those people? He sighs. I wasn't going to keep it from you. But are you ready to hear about the real FaZe? The real FaZe? I think we're already pretty much piecing this together. I feel defensive already. It just sounds brainwashed. I guess this would be my chance to turn back, but I want to know the truth. I spent years wondering what the hell happened to my brother, and there's no way I'm letting that chance slip by now. Yes, I want to know. Nish nods and leans back in his chair. Sit back and get comfortable then. I suggest ordering drinks. Temperance cuts in, grabbing the tablet off the side of the table. She orders something for herself before passing the tablet around for everyone. Stand out a bit less now, Nish waits for everyone's drinks to arrive before he starts to talk, which only takes a moment. He subtly glances around us, and I follow suit. As far as I can see, no one is even paying attention to us. You'd think as highly trained operatives we would draw far more attention. But we're not the strangest looking people in the place. Hell, we almost blend right in. As I turn back to Nish, he starts to talk. It started right after we had our fight. I wanted to cool my head, so I thought a nice little visit to town would do me some good. I made it to the city's outer walls, and that's where I ran into some trouble. Trouble? What kind of trouble? Scavengers. Those assholes. They're hardly ever good to see. I don't know how they found me, but they surrounded me, and before I knew it, I had to try and fight my way out of that mess. I did what I could, but I was outnumbered. I feel my stomach twist into knots. I should have been there. If we hadn't had that stupid fight, I'd have been there. Given where he ended up, I can't imagine his story gets any better. Should I say something or say nothing? Let's say something. What did you do? You're here now, so you obviously got out somehow. Nish snorts. Somehow? Yeah. Nish shies. Even with what I can do, I was overwhelmed, and all I remember was everything going black. When I woke up, I was in a plain white room. After maybe an hour of me screaming and trying to kick the door down, someone showed up. That's when I found out I'd been sold off. What? Sold? FaZe likes to get all the promising people under its loving care. It doesn't matter how they get them as long as they do. My gaze turns to Six. He sits there quietly, and though it seems like he is listening, he doesn't say anything in FaZe's defense. I have to wonder why he's not jumping to defend FaZe. I turn back to Nish. What then? They shipped me off to one of their facilities for testing immediately. I had potential to be great, they said. To become something beyond human, beyond what we can get even with Augs. What? But that's... What, dangerous? Not possible? I nod. All of the above. Augs already makes us something beyond human, and to go even beyond that is... can't imagine it. Nish takes sighs and takes a long sip of his drink. Project Lucifer is one of the more deeply covert operations run by FaZe. It's highly classified, so most wouldn't know about it at all. I was locked up in their facility, forced to participate in this study of theirs. The project was created to study humans born with unusual abilities. This already sounds like a clusterfuck. This sounds like hell already. I mean, the project's titled Project Lucifer, so of course it'd be hell. FaZe wanted to know if it was possible for normal humans to develop these abilities. Nish snorts. More importantly, they wanted to know if they could enhance the abilities of those who already had them. If their operatives could be enhanced and turned into better weapons, then it's only better for Phase, right? How can I even argue that? With what Ford told me about Angmar and everything else, I can't argue that they're not like this, that they wouldn't play around with human lives like this. Nish continues on in spite of my inner turmoil. I was one of the subjects with pre-existing abilities. They put me in through countless tests and experiments that were all meant to permanently enhance my natural abilities. An uncomfortable pressure built in the center of my chest. They were successful, and I was given the codename 15 to commemorate my first time as subject 0015. 15, but that means you were in beta. I was, but I was also highly combative and disobedient. Oh boy. I probably still hold the record for how many times I had to be locked away for discipline issues. He smiles at that, but it makes me feel sick. Nish actually seems proud of it, but all I can think of is the fact that FaZe would lock their operative away like some criminals. But considering how strong their operatives are, I guess it makes sense that for their own safety they may have to lock them away. Though, it's not like Nish was there voluntarily. I know how some of my team got onto FaZe, but this makes me worried that some of them might be keeping secrets like this. You said that Temperance got you out. How? I can probably answer that better. I turned to her with a little nod, silently urging her to continue. I broke into one of their facilities. Mind you, I was looking for something else entirely. I found what I was after and more. There were files upon files on subject 0015. It was filled with endless pages about his potential and his behavioral issues. He was troubled and becoming a problem, but 15 was too valuable to just give up on. Whatever issues they were having with him, they caused themselves. Well, I can get behind that, Tempe, I really can. But they didn't see it that way. 15 was the problematic one for not simply bending to their will. I will myself to breathe in deeply before I even try to say anything. Despite what they've told me about FaZe, I don't know that I can trust Kairos. The story sounds real enough, but how can I know that Kairos didn't brainwash my brother? How do I know they're not just using him? I don't know about all this. I don't know if I could just believe it. I should have known. You never can believe me, can't you? Even after all these years, would it kill you to take me at my word for once? Time and time again I tell you the truth, but you... What? No, Nish, this isn't about that this time. Before you left, I was afraid of the truth. I didn't want to look at it, so it was easier to call you a liar. It's not like I don't want to believe you. I mean, I do, and I don't. If I'm honest, it makes more sense than anything. But FaZe is responsible for the safety of this entire country. They're at the helm of this world. Things just can't be this black and white. Then what? What is it? I glanced at Temperance out of the corner of my eye. She and Six seem to be quietly watching our exchange. Well, to start with, everything you're saying, it's incredibly heavy. And you say FaZe is bad and that they did these horrible things. But how am I supposed to know that Kairos isn't the same? Or that this Project Lucifer was real? How am I supposed to know you're not just some brainwashed pawn right now? What? Are you serious, Haiyuna? Yeah, I'm dead serious. I just want the truth, Nish. That is the truth. I don't know what else you want from me. Nish sighs and rubs his temples. Tell me, Haiyuna, what do you think of FaZe? Temperance's sudden question throws me off, leaving me staring at her for a good moment. What do I think of FaZe? Yes, I'm sure you've seen enough to at least start forming an opinion on it. So, what do you think? I wasn't expecting to be asked such a thing, so I take a second to think. I'm going to say I'm not really sure because we really aren't. They might be an integral part of society, but there's more to this, obviously, as we're starting to find out. And what we found out from 4, and hints from what we're forming from 0. So, I'm not really sure what I think. What do I really think of FaZe? The full answer feels too complicated to grasp right now. Though part of me thinks it's just my own feelings that are complicating how I see things. To be honest, I'm not really sure. But I know that this team I'm on is full of good people fighting to protect others. Temperance sighs. So that's what you think. Temperance looks off into the distance somewhere, towards the twinkling lights and the mingling people. Those people out there, walking in the light, safe and whole, they're never going to know what you've done for them in the dark. Whatever phase offers, it all comes at a great price. If people knew the truth, twisted and terrible as it is, they'd turn against the system in an instant. Well, even if it wasn't dark, terrible, and twisted, they'd probably turn against it anyway if they knew fully, you know what I mean? That's just life. But the truth is harsh, cold, and ugly. That's why fools choose to stay fools. Ignorance is bliss, after all. Her eyes snapped back to me suddenly. Any hint of playfulness she might have had in her eyes before was now gone entirely. The way she looked at me made me feel oddly naked, like she could see right into my very soul. Faze has many dark secrets, one darker than you could possibly imagine. Temperance looks at Six. She leans back, crossing her arms in front of her. Why don't you ask Six here about Valravin? Oh my god, these words. What? Valravin? Seeing Six look so surprised throws me off a little. Just what the hell is Valravin, and why is Six so... Six sways in his seat a little. He leans forward wordlessly, his eyes now trained fully on her. To me, it seems like he's searching for something, and I can only guess if he finds it. Temperance, however, keeps her attention on me. There are operatives hidden deeper than even the phantoms. You might be the hidden gem of Faze, but the Valravin is the poisoned blade in the shadows. Holy Jesus. I look at Six out of the corner of my eye. So she's saying that Six would know about this Valravin? I can hardly ignore the fact that he looked so shaken at the very mention of the name. They're one of Faze's most closely guarded secrets. Isn't that right, Remy? Remy? Yes. I turn to Six when he actually responds to her. Remy? Is that his name? No, that's gotta be just a nickname, honey. But why does Temperance know? Even Six seems to be shocked that she would. You know, she told us that she'd broken in and found all these files on 0015. I'm pretty sure she found files on everything else. I think that's probably her job, is just to go in and find the secrets. I'm thinking she's kind of a spy in a way, you know? So that's not really surprising that she knows. I stare at her quietly for a moment, as if that might give me all her secrets. This woman, she knows too much. How does Kairos have access to that kind of info? She just said she broke in and was looking at files. Are we forgetting that entire conversation right now? Faze files make Kairos sound like a disorganized mess of rebels. So, how is it that they have all this top secret info? Does any of that change your mind at all? I really don't know, Nish. I thought I could convince you, but I guess not. Nish sighs. I hoped. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to be your enemy. I nod. Nish doesn't finish the sentence, but he doesn't need to. And I don't make him say it either. I just need some time to process all of this. But please, Nish, please understand that to me, you will always be my baby brother. We should go now. Wait. If I want to talk to my brother again, how do I contact you? I'll reach out to you. Don't trust me not to give you your info to Faze? We don't trust Faze not to get it somehow anyway. It doesn't even matter if you want them to or not. I see. I'll call you, I promise, Haiyuna. The two of them stand, and I think to call out to them again to stop them from leaving, but I don't. I just sit there and watch my brother disappear into the darkness. There's lots of... You know what? Before I go... They won't give me the information. Like, they're afraid that I would leak it or something, or they would still get it anyway, but they have all this, like, dirt on Faze. But they're afraid to give me a phone number. Like, how... What? There's a lot to think about, and I don't know if I can even talk to Dr. Static about it. I feel like I could trust her. But can the same be said about Faze? I feel oddly dazed, so lost in my own mind that it just barely registers that I stood up. The exhaustion of another insanely long day with a roller coaster of emotions hits me full force. I feel Six's warm hand around my wrist, gently guiding me through the lounge. He doesn't say anything, and I feel grateful. He leads me out of the lounge and back into the car. We quickly head back to the phase, as if nothing ever happened. Okay, guys, that was chapter 3. Holy moly, whole bunch of shit just came flying at us, and we almost died because we are dumb. But hey, whatever. So I will end this part here, and we will jump into chapter 4 next time, which I think should be coming out around Wednesday, maybe, if I get my stuff correct. And I will see you all again later. Bye-bye.